Hello everyone, it is Thursday afternoon and I'm finally back for a Facebook Live. I had to take the last couple of weeks off, just life. I can't even remember. I know the first week my granddaughter had been born that Sunday, and so we were helping out a lot. Oh, last week I was in Las Vegas, that's right. Or on my way home from Las Vegas, I went to the Stampin' Up! Leadership Conference, which was a blast. And I got the new catalog. I can't show you the inside, but this is the new, we call it the holiday catalog. That will be coming out for you in January. All right, let me get this shared over to my page in case anybody's looking for it there. And then we will get started. Oh, and I forgot to draw. It's been so long, I've forgotten what I'm supposed to do. I forgot to draw for the one from 3 weeks ago, so I will do that. Oh no, I didn't forget to draw. I just forgot to give it to her. Never mind. So if you're new to my Facebook Live, I come to you most Thursdays and we make something fun, and then the next week I give it away. So but it won't be next week this time because next week is Thanksgiving, so it'll be 2 weeks. But 2 weeks from today, we'll give away this card that I'm going to make today. Hang on, I can't do two things at once. All right, let me get this copied over here. And then we will get started. So if you've been with me, I had been doing classes, like a Facebook Live class every Thursday, where I would make 4 cards, and then if you place an order by the end of day Monday, then you would get a kit to make those 4 cards. That turned out to be a lot to do every week. So I'm going to do that the second Thursday of every month. I'll do a Facebook Live class. Same thing, place an order by Monday. I think it's $50. Yep, $50, and you get the kit for the 4 cards free. 75 or more, and you'll get an embellishment also. But that was just a lot to do every Thursday. All right, let me get back to where I was, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, we're ready. All right, so this week we'll be back to my original Facebook Live where I show you 1 card. I give it away next week. I will put the measurements for the card on my blog after this, so if you want to make a card like this or similar to this, you'll have all the measurements that you need. So this is the card that I posted, and this is using Gray Granite, Pretty Peacock, and Old Olive. But I decided I wanted to see if I could make a fall colored one. So that's what this is. This is Crumb Cake, Cajun Craze, and Pumpkin Pie. And then I did use Early Espresso for the sentiment because I wanted to be sure it would show up. And it may be hard to tell, but there is Cajun Craze on the lower part of those leaves. It shows up a little better on the Old Olive Pretty Peacock version, but it is two-toned here. And this is a new online exclusive that came out the first part of November. There's actually a couple of new online exclusives here. So this is Friendly Foliage. That's the stamp set. And then, that's the other stamp set. These are the dies that go with it. And so to make this intricate die, and you'll see it because I'll die cut it after I stamp it, you use this one and this one together. And then that cuts out the middle of it too. And then the other stamp set I use that is a new online exclusive is the Lasting Linen. And it's just a nice linen texture. So let's get started. Let me find all my pieces here. My inks. All right, let's do our Lasting Linen. Now that is a background stamp. So we're going to do Crumb Cake on Crumb Cake. And if you haven't heard, Stampin' Up! Is getting rid of all of their red rubber stamps. So in the future, and starting with the November online exclusive, there will not be any new red rubber. And so if a stamp set is going to carry over, once they sell out of the red rubber, they will be made as photopolymer. So if you're not familiar, well, these are photopolymers, so they're clear. And the red rubber, I happen to have one right here, just so you kind of, these are the red rubber stamps. So these will be going away. No more of those. All right, let's get busy crafting. Grab my adhesives because I forgot to get those handy. Luckily, they're right next to me. Okay, so we are going to stamp. Now, I'm still using my Stamparatus just because with a background stamp like this, it is really nice to have a big stamp positioning tool. This is no longer available, but there are other stamp positioning tools out there. I did a little, we used this in class, or I used it for swaps. That's what it was. We may have used it in class too. I don't remember. But I made just a little mark there so I know where to put this. I can't use the magnets on this paper because we're stamping the entire paper. So I've got crumb cake, and we're just going to ink up our lasting linen over here. I think that's what it's called. Yes, lasting linen. I'm going to close this up. And then we're just going to press. And I want to try and get it right the first time. I can put it back because I have that little mark. But the one thing about photopolymer is when you lift it up, it's liable to take the cardstock with it. Oh yeah, that worked out well. It's kind of hard to see on camera, I think. There you go. All right, so that's our background. Let me grab. Now we're going to, I'm going to set that aside, stamp our leaves. This is very vanilla. So I have pumpkin pie and Cajun craze. And I'm going to open them both. Oh, my sleeves to get in the way. It's kind of rainy here today, so it's a little cool down in the basement where my craft room is. All right, so we're going to ink this up with pumpkin pie, the whole thing. And then before we stamp it, you take your sponge dauber and you daub on the Cajun craze. And I'm going to try and do even more than last time. Now it does give it a different, you know, it's not quite as moist on there as just inking it up on the stamp pad. All right, and then before you stamp it, you just huff on it. And that just makes sure it's all nice and moist. And I probably should have put my foam piece under here, my Stampin' Pierce mat. If it doesn't work, we'll clean it and do the other side. There we go. And again, that's a subtle difference in those leaves, but you can, let me hold it up a little bit closer. You can see they're a little darker here where it's the Cajun craze. All right, let me set that aside. And then the last thing we need to stamp, let me find my piece of, we'll die cut that in a minute. That's a piece of pumpkin pie. Again, all the measurements will be on my blog shortly after this video. Whoops, let's turn it around this way. And we're just going to stamp this on our little, and again, I did early espresso, keeping with the fall colors, but that at least made sure that it was going to show up well. Okay. Now, I did cut the left side of this, just in a little angle cut, just for a little more interest. You can be, you know, real precise about it and put it on your trimmer, especially if you're doing both ends. I just eyeball it. All right, let's get that out of the way before we get Cajun craze on everything. And I'm going to move this for a minute. Let's die cut our leaves. So again, we're going to use, grab them, the 2 pieces. And I've got a piece of Post-it note tape to help. All right. So we're going to put it at an angle because it does have some corners, and if you're doing something rectangular, it is easier to go through at an angle than to go straight on those corners. We're liable to have to adjust that again, but you do this just all at once. So now we get our middle piece. Yeah. Get that lined up. Let's line that back up. All right, then take your Post-it note tape, put it over both pieces. So keep them lined up like that. And then run that through. And if you don't want to cut out the middle, you don't have to. I think I made a card a while back where I didn't cut out the middle. But it sure is fun when you do. All right, let's get this out of the way now. And let's see what we have. Bring this back in. I should have used my, there we go. Isn't that pretty? Oh, there's one little piece right there. And then you'll have a bunch of pieces in this. You'll want to get those out before you put it away, but I won't do that at this moment. All right, we are ready to put this all together. So this is really a quick and easy card. Let's put our lasting linen stamped piece. This is a piece of Cajun Craze. About to run out of seal. I think I'll make it. And this just goes flat on our crumb cake card base. And then I did use liquid glue for this. Not a lot. You don't want to glob it on there. This is a newer one, so hopefully I can keep it from being too much, because it will squish out the sides if you put too much on here. But this is easier for this, that's such a intricate cut piece. And then pick it up without dropping it. And that just goes in the middle of your linen piece. Just press it down for a minute, not a minute, but a few seconds, so that liquid glue will take hold. And then this guy we're going to put on with dimensionals. So I have one where I'm using up the edges, which is perfect for this. So don't throw it away just when you use up all the ones in the middle. The edges, you can cut them apart. If you need long strips, you've got that. They work just as well. All right, and we're going to just kind of put that down here. I have it kind of hanging off the side. And then our last thing that I've buried over here, these are Cajun Craze and gold dots. Let me show them to you out of the plastic. Yeah, it's always hard to get those, but Cajun Craze and bother. So there are large, medium, and small. And that's it. That is our card. So super quick and easy, and that's just a beautiful set. You could do all different colors with this. As I showed you, I did one that was more cooler tones, and then this is a nice autumn tone one. So this we will draw in 2 weeks. When I'm back for Facebook Live, we'll draw for this card. And I will put the dimensions up on my blog shortly. All right, I've been sharing some swaps, but I thought I would go ahead and show them on the video too so you can see. This one is from Jackie. Look how cute that is with the sweater and the hat. Isn't that nice? I don't have that set. It's always fun to get swaps because you get things that you don't have the set. This is from Gail. So she did stuff on the inside too. Isn't that nice? This one is khakis. Look at those little die cuts there. That was some work. This is Judy's. I think this one I've already shown on Facebook. This is with the branching out, not the paper, but the dies. And I don't remember if the stamps are from there also, but you think of it as a winter or Christmas set, but this is obviously not a winter or Christmas card. So just showing the versatility of the stamps. This is from Paula. So she must have colored some of this because this is just like one stamp. And then she did some sponge daubing there. Isn't that pretty? This is the, it's the drink one. I've forgotten what it's called now. This is Sean's. See the little butterflies. Those are cute. This one is Patience. So this is another new bundle. And it's Banner. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's a punch that does this. And then some sentiments that go in that spot. And so she just took some paper and put it behind there. You know, stamped on that one and then put some designer series paper. Really cute. But a nice, simple one. This is from Kay. Another new online exclusive. I don't remember what it's called either. I think I put it on the Facebook. This one is from Beverly. Look at that gold foil. And she used the embossing folder that goes with this suite. And this one is from Sherry, Butterflies. All right. I think that is it for today. Hope you all have a nice Thanksgiving. If you're traveling, have safe travels. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.